Uh, it was just basically like this $2 trillion plan to like essentially like build
Oh
a bunch of
yeah,
infrastructure, and
that's pretty good,
it's
right?
all climate change oriented. Yeah,
I love it.
it's
I
pretty
saw
good.
I saw something too where someone was like, I think I might have seen
I
like
mean, the COVID bill wasn't amazing, but I think all things considered, like they're getting money to people. They're
they certainly got 1,400 checks to people
yeah,
eventually.
exactly.
Now, as I say, if you're gonna like if you give a shit about like making money, like investing in better infrastructure sure seems like a good choice.
Yeah. Well, Biden asked about it. Can I legally do this? You're the president, man.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Just do it.
I feel like
You are the law.
it's
Giant animated headline graphic. A little bit too distracting, I would say.
the
Kind of a cool,
the Eye of
kind of a cool
Sauron.
idea.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think they were just too in love with the idea there. What is federated learning of cohorts?
I think it's a way for Google to say, check it out. We have preserved privacy, but while sending like cookies to the cookies to advertising vendors, but like they don't know who you are. We figure out your behaviors in Chrome, and then we tell other people what this browser's behavior is. But we don't let people put tiny snippets of text all over your business on their own. I don't know if it's better or not. I honestly can't say.
Man,
Yeah, I
seems
mean,
bad.
this is why you use Firefox, not use Safari for real browsing.
Right, right. But we can't avoid Google. I mean, I'm in Gmail. I'm in Google Docs.
Yeah,
Gmail's a killer, right? They know everything about me.
Gmail's a killer. Fastmail is a pretty good alternative, and it might be time for me to do the switch because
How is Fastmail? How's their web UI? Is it good?
I think they have like an okay web UI and they have an okay mobile app, but like I could also switch to mail app on the desktop and be happy.
How's their search?
That's a great question. I don't know. That's what I need to commit to.
I mean, like, the killer thing in Gmail is like how it's kind of like a record of your whole life. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, I know. I know. I know. I know.
Do you do the thing where you like reply to email threads to yourself so you have a little note in that
No.
thread?
No, but that's brilliant. I've never
Okay.
even considered that.
I do that sometimes. Um, this is a 2013 article on Fastmail, so it's probably not going to give me an up-to-date UI.
Nope.
Oh, here we go. Why Linux users love Fastmail. It's like a reason to hate Fastmail.
See, yeah.
They're not really selling it.
No, that's not the pitch I would pick for anything.
Oh, it's kind of funny. This is a much better landing page than their regular landing page.
Huh.
Oh, you know what? I think I landed on this.
Oh yeah,
Right.
that's yeah. Now you're on the features page.
Here we go.
I think it's basically like the alternative. You could use Apple Mail, but like I'm not going to use any Apple web service for serious shit.
I mean, this seems doable here. It's got a. It looks like it's inspired a little bit by the Apple Mail UI. Got these really old school gradient colored buttons here.
Yeah, dang. You're a web UI person for your mail?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah. Is that weird?
I don't know. I am too, but no, I don't know if it's weird or not.
Yeah.
I can just imagine the terrible trial of trying to pick a new email, trying to like forward my email through Gmail for the rest of my life anyway. Yeah, it's worth it though. I mean, what
Are you
if
saying that's what we're gonna? Is this like a if you do it, I'll do it kind of thing?
I might do it anyway.
Okay.
I mean, I do want Google to not know everything about me someday.
Yes, it is true. Pricing. What is it? What does this cost?
I think it's just $5 a month.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's totally doable.
Yeah, it's like more storage than I have in my Gmail, which is almost full, and they're gonna ask for money soon anyway. So
Yeah.
fuck them.
What about your calendar app though?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm happy with Apple Calendar.
No, use Apple Calendar,
Yeah.
and it's an iCloud for you.
Gosh, it's honestly unclear. No, I guess I have a mix of iCloud and Google Calendars.
Okay.
So
I don't know. Google they've got
They got me there.
They've got their claws in us.
they're so evil. So evil.
Whew, first day awake for me after a couple weeks off.
Oh
It's
no,
a
you
little
went back
rough.
to work today. Oh
Yeah.
no. Well,
Lots of meetings.
yeah, I expect. But you're alive. You made it. Congratulations.
I did make it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a hell of a Monday. That's a triple Monday for you.
It has been a true, and it's a long week. I could have maybe the way to plan your PTO is to like have like a couple days off into the week that you come back, so that you have a shorter week. Kind of ease yourself into the deep end.
I think
You know
that's
what I
pretty
mean?
clutch, and I like that long week. It's just a full 5 day week because it is a long week. Like there's nothing short about it.
It's true. It's true. Um, I feel spoiled saying that, and yet at the same time, want more in our lives than 5 days of employment.
Yeah,
You know?
hell no. 4 day weeks. 4 day weeks are the way to go. We
Yeah.
should be there already.
How's Disco Elysium?
Amazing.
Is it amazing?
It's, dude. Like there's a reason that it's everyone's best game of whatever last year or the year before.
Wow. Yeah.
Did you ever play like the old school, the old Fallouts, like the one where you're running around in the little isometric world?
So I played Fallout 1, and that kind of remains my favorite Fallout game.
Yeah, Disco Elysium is like if Fallout 1 was twice as good or something. It's the same vibe and a very similar humor with less shooting and more like we really let you be weird about what you say to people.
Right.
I
Is there a lot of item management in that game?
Not really. Very
Okay.
little.
Yeah.
The most the items do, I mean, like you have to manage your drugs and alcohol and cigarettes, and your clothes. But like all your clothes are like bonuses, so you have to sort
Yeah.
of manage your character style that way. But otherwise, like, not really.
And then all of the a lot of like the skill checks and simulation is in like the dialogue itself, right?
I mean, the entire game is in the dialogue, basically. Yeah,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
yeah. It has some strange thing that you kind of get used to, where some skill checks you can retry them, so you can like fail and come back. Some of them are like one time only things, but some of them are just like you can kind of like buffoon your way through it and then come back when you upgrade the skill and it resets your ability to try it. So
And the dialogue choices are completely about the character's politics, right? Like they don't shy away from that at all, right?
I mean, I've sent you some of the better ones, yeah. But,
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, there are non-political choices too, but it's a game about a murder
Yeah.
in a part of town where the cops don't come, and there's a labor dispute between the union and the company.
Yeah.
So it kind of like sets up this perfect little like political axis for it to kind of pivot either any way on.
They don't both sides it for the union thing, do they?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
What would both sides in for the union be? Like the union is like definitely the workers' people.
Well, they always both sides. What was the friggin' BioShock Infinity?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't play the game, so I'm gonna come and spout out about it.
No,
But
it's fine.
like, but apparently, there's like the fascist government that you're fighting against, but then you run into like essentially like the leftists that are resisting them.
Mm-hmm.
And then they could not resist making like the leftist leader also like willing to kill lots of people. You know, they had to both sides it.
Oh, interesting. Is that BioShock? I don't even recall.
Yeah.
Also like
But it sounds familiar, right? It's not
Yeah.
you have to ask because it's an old trope,
Yeah.
right?
This one to me is really interesting because the union is the most powerful force in this game.
Okay.
And everyone else, like the company tells you they're very corrupt. But like, of course the company tells you they're very corrupt.
Yeah.
So far they've also been the friendliest to me, so I don't know.
The union has been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also like the slimiest, but also they seem like the people with power, so I think it's a send up of power, but the workers do love the union. I don't know.
Right.
It doesn't feel like it's like walking into a rut of political tropes. It definitely does something different. You will like it, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going through the free game backlog a little bit right now.
Hell yeah.
So I started playing Enter the Gungeon. I just played like 20 minutes of it.
Nice. It's fun.
It's fun. It's got a fun little dodge mechanic. I feel like it would be hard to play like a really long time in that game.
I tried to like do a couple runs in a row when it was put on free, and then it was hard to like keep going. Yeah. It's like too Dark Soulsy for me. It was very challenging.
Okay, so it was the challenge of it that turned you off,
It was like a combo of
which is fine.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna try it again because I do like challenging games, but there was a challenge and like the loop of starting from scratch. I don't feel that I didn't like quite grasp enough progression to make it feel like a real satisfying loop. But like maybe that comes a couple loops in. I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't done any loops yet. I literally just played the first, like, I played the tutorial level and like the first, I got
cool.
through the first boss or something
Yeah.
like that. Like the buff bird.
I got through that in the first time too, and then I like died subsequently before getting to the boss on my next 3 runs. So I think like I wonder if they like let you through the first time. I bet they do.
Oh, yeah, they play it easy on you. Yeah.
I think because like the enemies were a lot harder the second time I went in.
Yeah. I started also playing Persona 5.
Oh, that's not
At
your
long
jam. That's not
last.
your usual jam.
It's not my usual jam, and in fact, I'm already in the midst of bouncing off of it.
Yeah, that's fair.
JRPGs, I don't know, man. I used to love like the old school Super Nintendo Final Fantasy games, but like
I will say that
there's just
the best thing about Persona is its style. It has just oodles of it.
It's got killer style. Did you
Yeah.
play Persona?
I played Persona 5, yeah, and 4, but that was a long time ago.
Yeah. So 5, I'm actually okay with the games that are like high school simulators. As long as they super embrace it and it super does.
I was gonna say
right?
that's like the better part. The better part of Persona is the high school part, not the dungeon part.
Yeah. Yeah. But the dungeon part was so like just the first
Yeah.
2 days of school. The whole game is I found it to just be like really bizarrely paced and turgid. You know, it was just like just get on with it. You don't need to run me through the castle again. You know, it's not fun enough to make me go through the castle twice. And I think the whole game is just castles, right?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Though they get a little like it certainly stops. It gets faster, and the castles get more challenging and interesting. But like, you are totally correct.
Yeah. And then, did you notice how much fake loads, like disguised load screens they added to that game? Like all of the little like transitions where the protagonist kind of like, it's actually visually super cool. Where he like kind of jumps down from the top of the screen and he takes up the entire screen and then he runs to the side.
Oh, for the credit screen, you know, I didn't clock that as a load screen, but you're totally fucking right, and it's a great one.
Well, there's a lot of those interstitials where he kind of comes in like that. I think what's also a load screen is they do this thing where when you go navigate between areas of the world, it'll cut off to these like monochrome silhouette drawings of people like either standing in a train or like walking along the sidewalk, and it's kind of parallaxed, but it's basically like static images, and that's a load screen.
That one much more clearly. Yeah.
And it felt like I was getting a load screen every like 10 or 20 seconds, even like mid conversation. I'd be like getting this, and I'm like, this game is so choppy.
Yeah, it's weird because you're like on a scene, like walking down the sidewalk talking to someone, and you get 3 dialogues out, and then it loads to inside the high school. Then you get a couple of those, then it loads to like the end of the day. But like, yeah, it like switches.
Yeah,
its contexts are very visible. I think I agree with that.
So super dated tech. I guess it was 2017 or whenever that game came out, 2016 maybe.
Yeah, well, and I'm sure like I feel like it's one of those things where like you can kind of see these like different engines sort of evolving through the company, and like it's clearly like their thing, just like Yakuza is clearly Yakuza's thing.
Yeah,
and
it's
like
true.
And like not Unreal Engine or something.
Right.
Yeah.
So like I played for like 2 or 3 hours, and I felt like I didn't get anywhere in that game. I played for 2 or 3 hours, and I wasn't in the open overworld yet where I could run around and like buy stuff in the store, and I'm like, good God.
Yep. Man, some games the 5-hour tutorial is really just brutal, and I don't know why anyone would do that to you.
Well, and it's also just like a bunch of exposition, and I think this is just me. This is starting to get into just like not flaws of the game per se, but flaws of, or just like the incompatibility of me and that style of game. But I didn't care about the whole world building. I was just like, okay, there's like this weird shadow world, and somehow the PE teacher is like a bad guy in his own shadow world. And yeah, I don't care. And then I could totally see them setting up some kind of sexual abuse plotline in the very beginning. And I'm like, you guys aren't going to handle this very sensitively. They're just going to refrigerator a couple of teenage girls. And
I conflate the plots of Persona 4 and 5,
okay.
but also like you ain't going to be wrong no matter which one you pick.
About the analysis I just gave.
Yep.
Oh no. See, I was like expecting the worst, and like you're just confirming it, basically.
It's like, I mean, yeah, it is not the most forward thinking game, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Persona 5 is a lot less homophobic than Persona 4.
No.
Like a lot
I
less.
I didn't detect any overt homophobia in Persona 5. That it has that going in its credit.
Yeah, it is not perfect. It is. I really enjoyed it, but it is long. It's long.
I was really hoping to enjoy it, but I think the typical Jeff JRPG wall, I kind of slammed into it. Like the world building just seemed nonsensical to me, and the thing is, I'm very willing to suspend my disbelief, but something about the typical JRPG storytelling just doesn't do it for me.
Yeah, that's fair. Didn't you play the Final Fantasy remake and kind of get into it?
I haven't played the remake.
Oh, okay.
But I have it for free because,
as I say, lucky that's a freebie. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I should give that a shot. But I also have Hitman, the first one, lined up because it was on PS Plus a long time ago.
A long time ago. I kind of got into the first level of that, and then I never picked up the second.
Was that the ship, or this is past the ship?
Past the ship. I did the one after the ship, and it was like very neat and interesting. But
how much of that game is Twitch Reflex?
Almost none.
Okay, yeah, that's great.
Like 0%, I think. Yeah.
Okay, that's great.
I think you can do that, but you'd be wrong, or you'd be like the pro power player, but like those people are weird.
Yeah. I don't want to be accurate with my gunplay. I don't want to do any of that.
I mean, like shooting people doesn't really. I didn't shoot anyone. I'm sure you can.
Yeah. Well, that's good. It's good. I look forward to giving that a shot.
Yeah.
But Disco Elysium awaits in the background as a juggernaut.
It's so good. Man, it's like it's just a different thing, and you can sort of see the bones of a lot of previous ideas in it, but like they did something really unique.
Yeah. Did you ever play Planescape Torment?
No, but I've heard that is also just a total awesome one.
Yeah. I played it. I think I played like a Wares version of it. Does that word mean anything to the current generation at all?
I remember what Wares were, but I think if you're older than me, probably not.
So is it just because of our economic demographic, or do people not steal software anymore?
It's a lot. I think it got a lot harder because
people don't steal music anymore, right?
No, because it's
corporate
free.
America was able to they figured out how to like co-opt all of that, right?
Yeah, they got $120 a year out of everyone who wanted music.
Yeah.
That's actually like almost a fair trade, except they don't pay the musicians.
I think from the consumer's perspective, it's like, okay, yeah, I'll give $120 to do this thing legit, and to have it nicely collated and everything, right?
Yeah. From the musician's perspective, it's quite bad, right?
It's been apocalyptic.
Yeah. Which is a bummer, because that's like probably more CDs than I would have bought. I don't know.
Yeah. No, you're probably right.
Right?
If you think about the money that I've spent.
My money into music has gone up since streaming because I spend money.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
I know that streaming pays fucking zilch dollars though.
Yeah. I don't know if you make it financially just being a recording artist, right? You have to do other stuff.
Something else, merch or shows or But no, I was gonna say, I think the way games have moved is sort of similar because it's like it's also always online. Like you can't pirate Destiny. What are you gonna do with Destiny?
Right.
Or Halo, or like all these things where it's just like there's actually no offline thing anymore, so you're fucked.
Yeah. So people just buy games now, right?
I think
They
so.
just
I think also games have that sort of like after 6 months they're $5 thing going for them. So like
that is true. That
yeah,
is true.
yeah, the fall off is faster than it used to be. So you can get away with like not buying the same day and still get your fun. I think
Yeah.
that's what happened.
So I had a Wares version of Planescape Torment.
Fuck yeah. I was gonna say,
And
have you played the PS4 version? Because that's back out there.
oh really?
Yeah,
There's a PS4 Planescape?
Planescape Torment. They remastered it. It's
Oh,
the same
no.
game.
And Icewind Dale.
Yeah. Oh, I did play Icewind Dale. That was great. I really like that one.
What does it look like? So
I think it looks. I think it. I don't think they changed.
punchline is that by the time I started playing that, I was too accustomed to like voice acted games, and it was just like walls of text, right?
Yep.
And I think I got to it too late because its charms did not. But it's apparently one of the greatest RPGs ever. So. But yeah, this is basically the game, right?
Yeah, totally.
And when I see screenshots of Disco Elysium, it seems very reminiscent.
I think you're right. It's got more of the. It's like if this got a really good sort of like quality of life facelift, where there's like a nice quest log and the dialogue is like really well read to you. So
yeah.
And then there's an inscrutable system about your inner personality that just
I heard about
you
that.
kind of have to fucking figure out.
Yeah. That's cool.
So worth it. I really just I loved it.
All right, and it's $30 on PlayStation right now, so I don't have any excuses at all. God damn it, dumb.
I'm sorry.
I have too many games.
Yeah.
I have too much to do.
Too much to do. We should make another game. Add one more
Oh
to the
man,
pile.
we should make another game. We should make a role playing game.
Oh, that'd be really fun.
Yeah.
Though
I want to make a game with some sort of simulation aspect, and then some kind of like capitalist. You're the master of a bunch of numbers that go up slowly over time. That's a great feeling in games. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, you've mentioned your acquisition simulator before. That is a good idea.
What's the acquisition simulator again?
It's just a game where you just acquire stuff and like that's it. That's the win.
Okay, yes, that's what I'm talking about. Acquisition simulation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, big fan. Yeah. That sounds fun. Yeah, making an RPG would be pretty darn cool.
It's very asset heavy. Not that, I mean, all games are asset heavy, but I feel like in RPGs, it's a lot about content, right?
So, I mean, like, gosh, the amount of written word in this thing is ridiculous, and I can only imagine that like the entire game is sort of must be a fight of like how much writing can I do versus how much can we fit into this game.
Did you see that one tweet about visualizing the Disco Elysium dialogue tree?
I did, but I kind of glanced over it. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Disco Elysium's dialogue is like a good tweet.
It was in Twitter, which is going to be impossible to find anything. But,
Disco Elysium dialogue. I don't know. You never know. Twitter's search is like occasionally very good.
It was super cool. Did I spell dialogue incorrectly? I think you can. Yeah, it's not playing Paul.
Damn.
Whatever. But apparently it's very complicated.
I totally believe
to the degree that it's just like organic. Like if I wonder if they just like wrote out every single tree branch.
I think they did. I can still see a lot of like out and back in kind of branching conversations sometimes. It does let you sort of ask every question sometimes to like really dig into it. I will say I am super excited to finish and start a fresh game.
And play the fascist or something like that.
Yeah, well, and gosh, there's an achievement for defending the center a couple times too. You can be a centrist.
Both sides are wrong.
Yeah. It's almost I mean it's weird because it's almost
Black
like
Lives Matter.
it's almost like a no sides.
I'm not making fun of Black Lives Matter. I'm making fun of
Democrats. You can always make fun of Democrats.
Democrats
Yeah.
who that's literally all they can do about the problem is say it.
It's pretty fair. I hear once again we might cancel 50,000 in student debt. So strap in.
What's the latest here? We're not making a game tonight. We're just debt cancellation.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, the fact that people are asking is a good sign, right? Like,
it's quite an improvement. Yeah.
is Biden like low key, like gonna douche Bernie Sanders' program? Like what? Like he had that infrastructure thing come out recently. You know,
What was that?
It was just basically like this $2 trillion plan to like essentially like build a bunch of infrastructure, and
That's pretty good, right?
it's all climate change oriented. Yeah,
I love it.
it's pretty good.
I saw something too where someone was like, I think I might have seen like.
I mean, the COVID bill wasn't amazing, but I think all things considered, like, you know, they're getting money to people.
They certainly got 1,400 checks to people eventually.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, I was gonna say, if you're gonna like, if you give a shit about like making money, like investing in better infrastructure sure seems like a good choice.
Yeah. Well, Biden asked about it. Can I legally do this? You're the president, man.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
do it.
I feel
You are the law.
It's Jeff. Is that a Disco Elysium joke?
No, it's a Judge Dredd joke.
Yeah, there's
I am the law.
in almost every conversation when you introduce yourself to someone, that is one of your options. You can just say, "I am the law."
Yeah.
And there's an achievement for saying that like 20 times.
Well, yeah, you know, Judge Dredd.
No, it's great.
British
it's great. Yeah. It's been burned into my brain over the weekend. So
Yeah.
yeah, you'll like it.
Yeah. So I added a different particle emitter for the shooting. It's still a little bit too sprayy, which I think is just partly a consequence of the way that our particle emitters look.
Yeah, well, and I bet we can do something about that.
There's some tuning that we can.
Is it still shooting little triangles?
It's still shooting little
Yeah, that
triangles.
looks great. I love it. Nice.
Yeah. So more or less, if you start the particle toy, you're kind of zoomed out and looking straight down from the positive y-axis. But the reason why I did this is actually the game's view.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's actually the game's view of the world. Cool. So I figured, you know, probably the best way to, and so it seems like it's really far away, but like that's what's going on there.
Gotcha. So if you attach that emitter to something else, it would immediately, that's like coming out the front of the dog, basically.
That's right.
Cool.
And I actually changed the emitter orientation so that you kind of notice now everything's going towards negative Z as opposed to it going down positive Z. And that aligns the orientation. So in our emitter rotation, we're no longer subtracting everything from pi. You remember that little like weird trick that we did?
Oh yeah, that was weird. That's weird.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, nice to see that sort of factored out.
Yeah. So I believe I can just take this JSON blob, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I can paste it in here.
That's it.
And there it is.
Yeah.
Right? There it is, the little spray.
That system is working pretty darn well.
Yeah. That's a nice system. I really like it.
Yeah.
It's better than saving the file, I think.
Yeah, but you did save like we have like the tank shot emitter over here. Yeah.
Oh
Totally.
yes, yeah, it's over here. Sorry, it's better than saving a file directly from the browser.
Oh yeah, no,
It's cumbersome. Like
no
the
way.
map editor did that. Yeah. Yeah. So in order to get at this stuff, basically what happens is we have these two top-level global variables. Everyone's favorite way to program. One called common assets, one called client assets.
Cool.
I separated the two because we don't actually want this to get bundled into the server side.
That makes sense. Yeah.
It actually fails, which is interesting. But basically, our build configuration for the client side, which is the web build options, actually has things for handling OBJs, GLTFs, but The server build options don't have that. So when ES build comes across the server version of the build and like crawls all the require statements and stuff or import statements, if it happens to try to load things like emitters and stuff, or rather not emitters but models, it'll run into GLTFs, and because we didn't tell it what it actually is, it kind of barfs.
Nice and lean. Yeah.
So I just separated out like client and common assets. Common, they're just the maps basically. There may be more assets that we care about, but this is game content. And client assets consists of emitters and models. I guess I can get rid of this. That's not 100% necessary.
I think we can ESLint that too. That is definitely a rule I've used before.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's think about doing that. That happens when I do like a rename from one thing to another.
Yeah.
Yeah. And all this does is it includes files that we had already created. So the maps was already exporting this thing, right? And then models was already exporting this thing, right? So I just had another thing for the emitters. Cool. And this was your idea, right? Let's have emitters just be like libraries of assets, right?
I love it. Yeah. And just a constant import once. Yep. That's awesome.
Yeah. And then we can actually use them, right? So if I go to client assets and I find all references, here's where we're actually creating this emitter when we shoot.
Cool.
And I believe you wrote this code, so it should be somewhat familiar to you. This is, we're handling the tank shoot. I actually factored this out into a separate function called update frame side effects. And all it does is it takes this map of frame numbers to lists of frame events, which the update loop basically accumulates. And then we loop over those and we create side effects. And in this case, we cause it to create an emitter.
Nice.
And then basically what we do is we pull the settings out from the asset database and we create our emitters.
Cool.
And this is an emitter set because it's multiple emitters, right? There's 2 emitters going on here, right? The particle toy, and there's 2 here.
Yep.
And all it is an array of these things, right? Yeah, but they share a origin and orientation, which is an assumption that we're currently making is true for these emitter sets. Maybe it'll change in the future. Well, time will tell.
Yeah, I feel good about this though. That's nice. Yeah. Sick, dude. Wow. So we can load a lot of these into the game at once.
Yeah, it's so funny. You pull on a thread, and the sweater starts to come apart, right? Like
it took us. It was a solid 2 weeks.
Well, we're still not done. Like when I think about it,
true.
like I kind of want this emitter to come out the nose of the dog, right?
True. Yeah.
And what's the best way to handle that? Well, one way we could do that is just like we could just try to offset the origin a little bit by figure out what the orientation is and then just like displace it a little bit.
No, we could do that, or we could rig the dog.
Yeah, that's what I was. It's exactly the thing. Is like
because we should rig the dog, we should rig the tank. That should come in through GLTF, and we should be able to assign it to the point that we want it to by like name. Yeah, I know.
Essentially, we want the model to be queryable from the gameplay code, so we know where to spawn other things.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, and rigging feels like the. I mean, like there's already a system and a paradigm for that we just haven't written, but
yeah.
Yep.
Just ways of like doing metadata on the model, right? And if you think about it, most games are going to have that, right? Where are the eyes? Where's the hand? So you can grab a sword, right? You want to attach the sword to, all those types of things.
Yeah, well, it'll be nice because then the dog will not be 50% invisible when you're turning your head. Right.
Oh, so when you say rigging, you actually want to do like full skin animation as well, right?
I mean, I think getting the rigging in there is the start to that. Like,
yeah.
Because isn't that like once we do that, then transforms actually become, because we can rotate the head around the center of the head instead of this weird around the center of the body. So
that's right. We'll have bones.
Yeah.
We'll move the bones around, and then the vertices that are on the border between one bone and the other will smoothly. They'll be affected by the bones through some averaging system, so there's no discontinuity.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, and NBD, as they say.
Yeah, and NBD. So, what do we want to do today? Before we add rigging, what if we added another like explosion particle?
I
How
was
does
gonna
that
say,
sound?
I would love to see explosion get in there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and
So,
maybe I mean we could do a couple things too. Like we could have wall and turret explosions, but then we could also have like tree as a different sort of emitter explosion. We could try different things.
yeah. Well, maybe we should have we'll have the shell or the bullet. We'll have the bullet explode. How's that? That's one of them
Yep,
that we could
totally,
do.
totally.
All right. So if I remember how to do this correctly, this is our kind of default emitter.
Mm-hmm.
With an explosion, we probably just want circular spread.
I think
What does
so.
that say?
Yeah.
Yeah. In all dimensions. Oh man, this is a very cumbersome tool to manipulate, isn't it? I think our
What? Once you start dragging sliders, you mean, or?
yeah, or when even start manipulating the. Do you notice how I'm selecting text while I click and drag the canvas?
Oh, do you want to fix that?
Yeah, I mean that would be cool.
Okay,
Is that easy?
Super easy.
Okay.
Because I already fixed it for some of our labels. Safari, I think, has a different text behavior, but hop on over to index or main, or whatever has the CSS. It's probably index.
Yeah.
So if you scroll down, oh, okay, it might be, keep this open, but go into the controls TSX file. And there is like a user select in the style sheet I made. Isn't there? All right,
Emitter settings, maybe?
Oh, I'm sorry, emitter settings. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, this one?
Yeah. Well, all right. Where'd I put it? Let me open up my own Manchester. There you go. It ended up all the way down to foldable.
Yeah.
So that is the yeah. Just put that on main. Put it all the way on everything. Like, who cares? There's no text selection in this.
What
thing.
does user select mean?
It means you can't select the text.
Oh.
Yeah, because you can't select the foldable. Because when I was folding the foldables, the title was getting selected because the double
God,
tap.
that's devious.
Yeah. So yeah, go back to index, drop it on like the root style, and call it a day.
Particle toy. Like here?
Yeah, or on controls if you want. It's going to be user dash select in this context since we're back in real CSS land.
None?
None. That's it. There you go.
Oh my god. I actually think though the mouse is like getting on top of an element. Do you notice how I'm dragging up and down and I'm basically hitting a stop?
Ah, okay. There's a thing that happened. I in maybe emitter settings or controls.
Okay.
There is an event that stops propagation.
When you click and drag.
There's just a stop propagation in there, and that's usually sort of the thing I look at for that. Yeah.
It's this one here. Mm-hmm. And this is for on click. Yeah. So is this our... This is the only place that we do it, and this seems like the right place to do it, right?
Paste emitter. Oh yeah, that actually probably is the right one, and that's only inside that one button. So, all right, maybe not.
All right. Well, anyways, it's not a killer to me. There's a lot of quality of life that can go into this tool a little bit. It's a little bit rough around the edges.
Yep. True that. If you make it wider, though, I think there is a invisible column sort of on the right side that is the control strip.
Like down here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that definitely will fuck you up on a narrow window.
Okay. Let's make it wider.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me actually do this. This is basically, I just reloaded to get our orientation back the way it's going to look in the game.
Nice.
I think the TTL is way too long.
Uh-huh.
Probably still too long.
Yeah, I agree.
I think we want it like generally denser but tighter, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think dense, tight, fast.
And the emitter TTL is probably too long.
Probably very slow. Yeah. Yep. Even that. I wonder if our emitter TTL scale could be like.
Yeah, I mean, this lasts for quite a long. I think it's 10 seconds or something like
Yeah,
that.
I was thinking if this should be like log scale or something, because the short. I feel like I've wanted shorter values out of the short side of this tool for a while.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Log scale. Yeah. And then the collar for an explosion.
Nice.
Is that too passionate a red?
That's pretty good.
All right. And I still want these particles to last, to die even sooner.
So here's my thing. I think I've seen this on a couple of our emitters where it's like
Yeah.
you can like there's a burst, but then there's like more, and this kind of looks like a thing going like this instead of a shell. I wonder if there's an emitter TTL where it's like just do one.
Just do like one. Oh, I
Yeah.
see. You want to just like emit a lot, but for a tiny amount of time.
Yeah, like give me 100 particles, but like over 2 frames or something.
Yeah, I wonder. What if you could like just a what if you could have like a high TTL, a high particle TTL, but a really low emitter TTL, so it's only emitting.
I think that looks a lot better. Yeah, I like
This
that.
looks pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that seems right. And maybe a little
you want
scale and a little more. Yeah,
Do you want the bigger or smaller?
I think maybe a little bigger. Well, it's hard to say actually. It looks pretty good. Yeah.
These are a little bit difficult to manipulate, I think.
Yeah, we got to do some better controls, but I'm digging it.
Okay. Do you want other colors in here, or is this just red and orange sufficient? Do we feel like?
It's a good start.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's basically do this as a start.
Cool.
Right?
I have definitely exported, copy pasted, and re-imported to duplicate these two.
Yeah. Bullet explosion. Yeah, let's bring it in. Oh, that's not what I meant. Okay, there's that. And we want to add to the game.
Oh yeah, so this will be a pretty different one, huh?
Tank hit event. Is it just a hit event?
That's the event of something hitting the tank. I don't think we have an event for a bullet hitting something.
Oh yes, right.
Because
So,
this is for knockback.
yeah. It's in the right location. And maybe we could just put the position in here. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we know for this one that we actually don't need much of a. There's like no directionality to this particular explosion, so yeah.
And we can even make it a reference, I think. Well, we should make a copy. I'll regret making it a reference, and then something weird will happen. Okay, is it the attack system? Right now we assume that everything is... Any attack is a bullet, right?
I think so.
And then this is just... Did I call it position? Is
Yeah,
that what I
you
called
call
it?
it position, yeah.
Okay. And where is the position of the bullet itself?
Damager.
Damager.
Do we have a transform for that?
We do. The transform, I think it's this one.
It's just transform, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. And then in client sim for our side effects, we need an origin and an orientation and some emitter configuration. Why is this? What is emitter config doing here? It's doing nothing, right? I think this is just. I want to say this was just leftover code.
Yeah. Was that from the first one we tried last time?
It might have been, yeah. Okay, so basically what we're doing is we're creating an emitter set. The settings are coming from this, but we call it bullet explosion instead. Origin is the event dot. We have to create a new vec3, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the x value is event dot position, and it's just the x value. Y
0.
is,
well,
we've been doing 0.5.
0.5, that seems reasonable because everything is half height.
Once we actually move everything into the third dimension, we can fix that.
Nice.
And then the z value is just 1, right?
Yep. Square brackets.
No.
And when you want a distraction, I found the Disco Elysium visualizer for you.
Yeah, I do want to see that. 1 second.
Yeah.
I think it's quat. Did I make a constant quaternion? Quad identity.
Nice. Yeah.
Cut to Papa. Come on. Oh, come on. I've got a parse error somewhere, right?
What is going on? It still says no value for quad identity in the footer.
Yeah, I didn't. I haven't imported it yet, but
it's not even letting you.
It's not even letting me import. Did
Oh,
I introduce a parse error somewhere?
if you go back to quad identity, this is an object, and does that need a key? It's upset because you can't have a capital.
Sorry, say that one more time.
Is it upset that you can't assign like quad identity as a shorthand value on line 530? It's like quad identity. I think you're doing a shorthand, and I think it's upset about that.
It's just a number.
But since you're an object,
The value.
Since you're an object, it thinks you're trying to assign to the key quad identity.
Oh yes, of course. Yeah. Got it. So this is just orientation.
Yeah, I think that's what it's angry about.
Yes, and this is settings. Gosh.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, cool. I don't know why I know this, but like you can't have capital keys. Whoa.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. That looks cool.
And it gets masked by
by the wall. That looks awesome.
By the wall, yeah.
So if you hit the other dog or the trees, oh wow, that looks great.
Boy, this really, I think it was successful in bringing the game to life, right?
It really ties the room together. It sure does.
It needs a little bit more variation, but because they look a little bit samey, but I really enjoy it.
Nice.
Yeah. So now we need Wall explosions, tree explosions. Do we really want that much diversity?
Maybe not. Maybe it's overkill.
Is this enough?
This already looks really great. Yeah. I am a fan.
I do kind of want a different explosion or an additional explosion if we destroy something.
Yeah, let's do that then.
Doesn't it feel like that would help? Mm-hmm. Does this explosion overkill or is it just right? What do you think?
It's like a little much for what's happening here, but I'm not opposed to it.
Yeah.
I mean, see what happens when we add an explosion for actually destroying something. But yeah. Because they need to at least be distinct.
Okay, well, what should that look like? I think that one, like this scale maybe is pretty nice. Mm-hmm.
There's it could explode and have some smoke coming up from it, like
okay, so we want some smoke.
But at the
well, what happened to my other emitter? Oh, it's still going.
Still there.
I see.
Yeah.
It's just the timing of this one's the TTL for this one's so long.
So long. Yeah, interestingly, like our orientation is straight up, but this one, yeah, exactly. I was thinking smoke could be like more of an upwards, like the smoke should drift up.
Okay, so maybe the Y.
Yeah.
And then we can even also add gravity to it. We don't have a gravity control, but like that would be kind of cool, right?
Yeah, and we can still tweak that, right?
Gravity?
We can tweak it manually, I mean.
Yes. And the color is a little bit too much white, I would say. Mm-hmm. How do I do like a brownish color? Is that
that's basically it, yeah.
Although we kind of want it gray, right?
Hmm.
And then particle detail is probably too much for the smoke. And then this is stacking on the old explosion. Do we want to keep the old explosion? And if so...
The destroying thing needs to be a bigger meteor experience, though, right? Like
yeah. I do like the size of the particles for this, but maybe we need something that implies intensity a little bit more, right? Something like... And then maybe just a larger spawn rate for both of these.
Yep. Yeah, just get more particles on the screen when this is happening. Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Too yellow?
I don't know. It's pretty yellow, but I don't hate it. Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Okay. Let's try this.
Yeah, let's see what it does. This is great too, because like we can tweak and replace these as much as we want once they're in the system as little assets.
Exactly.
That's really nice.
Eventually, this will just be a SQLite database. It'll be fully... There'll be files or anything.
Damn it! I mean, you're right. Doesn't everything eventually become a SQLite database?
I think everything bundles SQLite eventually. Yeah. What is this? What do you want to call this explosion? Destruction explosion?
Yeah.
Death explosion?
Entity destruction? I don't know, whatever. Yeah, they're all.
Okay. Gotta add it in there. This is a really ugly construction, but keeps us type safe. All right, so when you die, where does one die?
what do we have for that? We have the attack system, but do we mark for? Oh, we do mark for deletion. Well, that's the bullet though.
Bullet.
Is it the damageable system where we do your HP?
It is, yeah. Right here.
Boom.
Simstate.frameEvents.push. We need to add that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Entity destroyed.
Yeah.
This is a logical concept rather than an effect, right?
Mm-hmm. I like the way these frame events have worked out because I feel like we're going to be passing a lot of data through this, but it's super local.
It's true. Does this not feel completely like we're doing Redux?
Shh, don't tell anyone. It's totally Redux. But like, I don't know, man, like a video game that is a fully evented system feels like a much better case for Redux than my fucking sign up form. Like, come on.
Yeah, it's true. Okay, and then the entity's position is maybe what we want to grab here, right? And we do have the transform. So it's vec2.clone. I'm not sure about these clones, but we're going to keep them in here.
Yeah, I think it's good, especially since we're marking that for deletion. Like, that's gone the next frame.
It's true. Although
I don't think it matters.
The vector itself won't get garbage collected until, yeah. But I think the pure way of doing this is that we should just do a copy.
Yeah. Now, is there, for some of these, we've has the entity ID instead of position. Is there any sort of like, do we feel more strongly about that? Like, by handing it the entity ID, we can sort of like decouple what has to go in here. Like, anything using this can just go and be like, oh, I need something else for this event. Like, I'll just go ask the entity what it's got.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah. Versus, I mean, like, sticking all the events you ever need about the data in the event is, all the data you need about the event is nice. Like, it's...
I think I'm going through the exact same cyclical thought process that you're going through right now.
Yeah,
so,
there's not really a clear win for me, but
yeah, I don't know who wins that. I guess I kind of like the clean break that's totally decoupled, but cool. I don't know if you're 100% going to be able to get away with that fully.
Okay, well let's lean into that for the moment and try to make that happen.
And then this is actually entity explosion, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is funny. The bullet explodes in a different place than the.
It totally does.
Entity.
But that's right. I mean, that's not.
It looks a little funny because our intersection code is weird, but I bet on the cube it's fine.
Yeah. Could our bullet explosion just be a little too much?
I think our bullet explosion is too much. Yeah.
Yeah, because the entity explosion looks great.
Yeah. All right, so the bullet explosion needs to get tuned. Mm-hmm. Let's do that. This is not a terrible workflow, right?
No, it's really not. I think this is...
Scale is too much, right?
Yep. Whoa. That's pretty tiny.
It might be okay.
Okay.
It might be okay. Let's try it.
Sweet. Yeah, I mean, this is so easy to test stuff out, so whatever. Oh, yeah.
Although, I think that's actually fine, right?
That looks a lot better to me, too, because, like, the explosion is really explosion-y. Yep.
The explosion feels like it needs its own red, though, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but we can drop that in there and add another emitter, or even duplicate the yellow one and make it a red one.
Yeah. Oh, I lost him. I just wasn't hitting. It was out of range.
You're just outside the range, yeah.
Okay. So what do we want to do here? The entity explosion needs its own amount of red. Mm-hmm. Is that what we were saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, do you want to do this, or do you want to copy paste like emitter 0 in JSON and then import it?
Oh, I see. You're just like importing the bullet one into that. Is that your idea?
Well, no, since any explosion has two emitters, go into any explosion, copy the first element of the array twice, and then import that. So we have the version to modify. If that doesn't immediately click for you, don't worry about it.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Let's take the. I don't know how to go to the other end of this.
Do you have a JSON formatter in here, maybe?
I think it's what's my go to matching brackets.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, that should be there too, huh?
Go to matching pair. What is emit?
I've never met Emmett. What?
It's like a built-in thing.
But what is it? Oh.
Um,
Is it find matching bracket? Because that's
I don't know.
fine.
Normally for me it was Control M. That's what I did.
Oh, what if you put that on Emmett?
I will do that. Okay, matching. It's Rust Analyzer. Control M. So that's not working. Sublime Text had this feature. You could just go to the matching bracket.
I mean, I bet you can install an extension. But
Vim also had this as well.
oh, just turn on Vim mode. Bring it all back.
All right, we're just going to do the thing you were saying. These aren't that big, right?
They're not that hard, nah. Well, also you can collapse one now too if you really felt like it. Sorry, I mean you can collapse the outer object and copy the whole line.
Oh yes, this is the bull explosion.
Oh, but you're in the wrong one. Yeah.
I'm in the wrong one. This is the one?
Yeah.
Great. And then now we want to make one of these red, right?
Yeah.
Let's make it nice and fiery.
Ooh, a little green. Nice.
It's a little bit too green for me.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of needs to be more intense, right? It needs to match the red of the other explosion.
Yeah, I think so. Nice.
Maybe the spawn rate's really high, but the TTL is really small.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's cool. Nice.
And then I actually kind of think I want a lighter color here.
Mm-hmm.
For more smoke, right?
Yeah.
And we'll maybe crank the max speed up a little bit. And then we can add some gravity when we're ready.
Oh, that'll be cool. Mm-hmm.
It will be cool, yes. All right. So now that that's in the game, that's a very dramatic explosion.
That's a pop, yeah.
And the smoke residual definitely needs the gravity because it right now kind of just like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, should we put like a default gravity on here? Or
No, let's just add a gravity editor.
Okay, yeah, totally.
Um,
All right, because it'll fill in whatever we make our default.
Yeah, I think gravity is just like a single slider, right? Where's even the basic emitter here? It's just a single vec3. And so, it's probably the last thing in there. Spread, particle TTL, folder, gravity. This is just a scaled slider, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this really doesn't need that many steps, right? Although I don't really know what the default should be.
That seems
The
pretty
value,
reasonable, yeah.
and then this is the value is just a single value, right? Oops. Props dot settings dot gravity.
Oh, can we get away with that now? That's great.
Oh, it's a vec3. What we really want is just for now, let's do y gravity.
I was gonna say, yeah, we should scale, scale that
Yeah.
by whatever the v is.
Minus v.
Oh wait, but v is two values, min max. Oh no, it's not. It's not a range. Great. Sweet.
And it's not pushable, right? Okay. So now you have gravity, and this is the smoke. Didn't quite do what I wanted.
Let's see. Is force update handling that correctly?
Yeah. It's just basically forcing a redraw.
Oh wait, what happened in here? Okay.
Yeah, I changed it so that the emitter settings only affects the settings object. It doesn't have a reference to the emitter itself.
Gotcha.
It was too confusing because we were using both state and props,
Yep.
referring to the same thing.
I'm totally with it. Yeah.
Yeah. But generally, when this is not working correctly, it means that this value isn't getting changed.
Let's see. What it means. So what's weird here is that the value is, I think having the value be an index into an object sometimes means that it won't do the thing we want it to.
Oh, there we go.
Did you?
Yeah, it works.
Never mind. Beautiful.
All right. Is there too much going on? Smoke is kind of not visible.
There is a lot going on. Smoke could go for a lot longer. Yeah, that's nice. Smoke could also go more straight up.
Yeah.
Is that? Let's see. That's kind of.
Oh, spread Y is wrong. I was thinking of spread Y as the wrong thing.
It's confusing because the orientation is still negative z.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
So the orientation actually does need to change, right? We actually do need to set the orientation of this.
It doesn't have to. You can control this with spread, but it's unintuitive.
Right.
It's just that it's that spread can't be.
It's pretty
centered.
counterintuitive. Yeah. Right. Well, let's set the orientation, shall we?
Yeah.
The orientation is not the identity. It is actually a rotation around the x-axis. And it is a positive orientation rotation. It's a rotation around this red one, and we're trying to take the negative z-axis and rotate it so it's pointing to the positive y.
Correct.
Which is a positive rotation, right? Equals quat dot rotate z, or really just from Euler, right? Plot.create. It is a... And the angles, are those degrees? I think it's actually degrees, right?
I think this one is, yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be a little bit hard to see here, but we can kind of like sort of fake it. It's hard to control.
Yeah. I think it's, I understand what's going on though.
It's really hard to see the gravity though.
Oh,
I zoomed in.
For this angle especially, yeah.
Oh, the gravity's not taking effect. It's because I didn't update it yet.
Oh, there you go.
Whoa. It's pretty exuberant smoke explosion, but you can kind of see the...
I like it though. I mean, you can turn the gravity up if you want more.
You can turn the gravity up, but I also think maybe the speed is too high.
Mm-hmm.
TTL is also too high. All right, let's try that. This is all just total guesswork.
Yeah. As if the rest of this game hasn't been.
Does that read?
As smoke?
Maybe it needs to be more vertical, stronger gravity.
Yeah, I was thinking the cone should be even tighter.
Okay. It's weird. I can't quite get to be exact.
Whoa.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, and then yeah, bump the gravity. I mean, yeah. It's funny because that's actually it's like the wrong orientation for that right now.
It is the wrong orientation, yeah.
Oh, but you took orientation totally out of the top of this. Okay.
Yeah, I think the problem is that this gravity is world gravity.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. So, let's, rather than move the camera around.
Oh, we still have orientation there. Yeah,
we still have orientation. Yeah.
Great.
So what we're actually just trying to do is modify the inclination, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we can see it from this angle.
Yeah.
Right? Oh.
Other direction. Yeah.
Is it all the way? It is all the way. Okay.
Yeah. Cool. I think high gravity needs much higher speed. Yeah. But it'll be dramatic for sure.
It's tricky that like a lot of these are related, right?
Yeah. That looks cool.
That looks cool. It's very it's quite dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's try that.
Sweet. Yeah. Export. Tweak them values. Wow.
Oh, that's
okay.
a bit much.
That sure hangs out for a while.
Yeah, it hangs out for a long time.
Yeah, okay.
This is hard, right?
It's really hard, yeah.
I mean, it just needs to be way less, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are these other things do they live too long as well?
I think everything might, yeah. I still have the feeling that all of our things are on the screen like twice as long as they should be.
Yeah.
But it's hard to. The controls are tricky for that.
They're finicky for sure.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. That's nice and tight.
And maybe we'll just like really crank the gravity on this. That kind of creates a little bit of a fountain effect.
Yeah.
TTL feels still too long.
Neat.
Okay, let's try that. It's toned down a lot. Maybe it's one of those things like guitar effects or something like that, where the more subtle it is, the more effective it is. This, you can kind of barely see the smoke now.
Yep.
I'm gonna live with this for now.
Okay.
That's a very dramatic. I love the bullet explosion. The bullet explosion feels really good.
Yeah, that with the tiny triangles is a lot cooler.
Yeah. It almost seems like sparks.
Mm-hmm.
And sparks with this aesthetic are really cool, right?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I liked when you went down to one of the other turrets as well. Yeah.
Down here.
Yeah, it's cool when they're like all firing and shooting off. Yeah, dude, that looks awesome.
Oh, and the turrets themselves don't have any muzzle flare.
Nope, not yet.
All right.
You say once you had one, you got to put them all in there.
Yeah. Let me fix some shit though. Okay. Turrets fire here.
Yes. Yep, there's the bullet creation.
Okay.
Now is this one? Yeah, is this a thing where we want a shoot event or a? What do we even have? We have tank shoot, but is it turret shoot? Is it totally separate? Might as well be.
Yeah, it can really be whatever we want it to be. I think for now, let's keep it separate. And if we feel like there's a need to unify them, we can do it, right? We can do that later.
Hell yeah.
There's no wrong answers here.
Nope. Basically,
probably gonna look something pretty much similar, right?
Yeah.
But I bet we could get away with position and.
Yep. As I said, if we're gonna follow our new style, let's do that.
Yeah.
Turret shoot event.
Of course.
And you'll have to update line 35. Yeah. Turret shoot. Oh yeah. Okay.
For some reason my autocomplete is hosed. I don't understand what's happening there, but
it was that there was no turret shoot event, so I think it was looking.
Yeah, but even ahead of that, it, like.
Oh, before that, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
New orientation, position, just making it too easy. And this should be a copy, right?
Yeah. Boy, there's like a loud party going on outside, and that is really disconcerting.
A loud party.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mid.
Is it spring break? Spring break happened.
Oh yeah, mid-pandemic.
I mean, maybe the pandemic is over for them. It's over for some people.
I think people are just like, oh, we have a vaccine now. I haven't taken it yet, but we're good, right?
Yeah, if you've got it, that's all you need. Ugh.
Okay. So it's the take shoot explode take shoot file. Oh yeah, they look like they're just spewing because they shoot so rapidly.
Damn, that's weird. Okay.
Also, I mean, this does look like they're foaming at the mouth, don't they?
Yeah, a little bit. Boy, the turrets are interesting too, because the turrets should fire. This is just the dog. I want the turret to fire from its turrets, and maybe alternate sides too.
Well, that's almost a game logic thing, isn't it?
Sort of, yeah. But doesn't the turret system keep track? The turret system keeps track of the last TTL, right? Just needs to keep a on-off switch there.
Yeah, there's just the rate of fire so high.
That's pretty high, yeah. It would look better if it was coming out of two cannons back and forth.
You're right.
Then the little speed wouldn't be so in your face. We could tune it down though. It could be a much shorter one.
It could be. I mean, it's too long for the dog, anyways,
yeah,
right?
It's too long for everything.
Yeah. Okay. Should we fix the scales?
You want to? Should they just be numbers?
Kinda.
Is slider too much?
That's a good question.
Or should it be log? I mean, I guess we have that scaled thing, and it could do log pretty easily. We could apply scaled to the steps, or we could play a log function to the steps and call it a day.
It hurts my head.
What's that? Applying?
Yeah, but we kind of need to do it, right? I can't go any lower than this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We can apply a log function to the steps. That's easy, isn't it? Maybe not.
No, it's not bad. What basically you want it to have more steps towards the left for everything.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Okay. Sliders have more granularity. I like how the title of this document, like, more granularity to the lower end. I think my VS Code is slowing down.
Too many particles?
It could be too many parts. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I got a lot open. So what does that mean? It's like this, this, this. These are our steps, right? You kind of want something like that.
Yep.
So that's 0, that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4, that's 5, 6, that is 7, right? And the values, if this is truly a log scale, is like 1, 10, 100. 1,000, right?
Yes.
10,000. I mean, it's not going to be that severe. We're going to use some other radix, but that means that to go from slider value to actual value, we do some.
What is the transform for that?
It's like it's radix raised to your exponent, right? Am I using the right term correctly? Radix, like the base of an exponential expression?
I think you are, yeah. Yep.
Yep. Actual value to slider value is the reverse of that. It is the it is like you take this actual value log of what you're trying to get is the exponent, right? So you do like the log radix of the actual, right?
That
And you get
sounds
the
right.
exponent.
Yeah.
And then you round, although the rounding is going to be really rough towards that end, right?
True.
That's okay.
Okay. Yeah, this is a little annoying.
The other way that we could do this is we could do polynomials. So this could be, rather than it being logarithmic, you could have it be like x cubed or something like that. So this cubed would be 0. This cubed would be 1. This cubed would be 8. This cubed would be 27. This cubed, like, that's another way that you could do it. And you could do like the cubic root or the square root or something like that. It gives you a little bit more precision.
Interesting.
But actually, this is not really what we want. What we want is we want a min value of some number and a max value of some number, and then we want n steps in between following an exponential change, right?
Yes. Yeah.
It's funny. I've done this at work, but I have to kind of reconstruct the math in my head every single time.
That's good because I have not.
Yeah. So essentially, there's just like a multiplier. What you do is x, the max divided by the min, is basically this is like the full multiple. Is how many times larger the right side, right extremum. How many times larger the right extremum? How many times larger? How do I phrase that sentence? I can't speak English when I'm writing code. That's just the ratio between the maximum and the minimum, right? That's literally what it is.
Yeah.
And then basically the multiplier between adjacent steps between the actual values is equal to the nth root of max over min, where n is equal to the number of steps. So the reason why that's the case is you do min times the first step is the minimum, right? Second step is the min times the root. The third one is that value times the root again, ... all the way till when you get to the max, or sorry, the last step. And that's going to be the min times the nth root raised to n, which is the same thing as the minimum times max over min, which is just max, right?
Huh. Cool.
Do you see that math? Let me give this a name.
Okay.
R. So the first step is the minimum, the last step is the maximum. That's what
Okay.
you want, right?
Yeah, totally.
And then you want some like exponential progression between them. right?
Yeah, that makes sense. That's neat.
Yeah, so you take the nth root of their ratio, right? And I'm just calling it r. And then what you're doing is just multiplying the previous value by r up until you get to this. And theoretically, this should be r times itself n times, right? Well, since this is the nth root, this is just whatever you were taking the root of in the first place, which is max over min.
Yep.
Multiply that by the maximum, and then you get the maximum.
Yeah,
Right.
that works
Am I off
out.
by one?
Do
you see what I'm saying?
If it's the nth root to the nth power, then that should be the original value, right?
It is if we zero index.
Oh, right.
Zero index, right? This is a 0th slot, right?
Sure. Yep.
Okay. So, but we actually have n plus 1 steps for this.
Yeah.
Counting the minimum. Right, because the number of n's that you have here is 0. You have 1 r here. You have 2. Sorry, the number of r's you have multiplying in here is 0. The number of r's you have here is 1. You have 2 r's here, all the way up to n r's. Right?
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and if we want to do off by one math, we can do that too. I think we are zero indexed.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the scaled slider. We'll probably want to do this for both, right? So value to step, step to value. In this case,
I think this will do it for both, to be honest.
Okay, yeah. So should we just like copy this stuff over? Should we just use these two functions?
Sorry, I mean
They have everything we need.
They both import this, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so value to step is the hard one. Step to value, I think, is a little bit easier. Well, step to value is just this, right? So const ratio, let's just call it r, equals config.max divided by config.min is math dot nth root is r, and then n is
Whenever config.steps, is that it?
config.steps minus 1.
Okay. Yep.
Right, because we have to count this one, right? And we're looking for n, which is basically, this is actually n plus 1. Confusingly, or rather, maybe this is easier to just call this n minus 1 here. Is that a little bit better?
The n minus 1.
Well, it can't be that, right?
Yeah, that's not the max.
All right, let's go back. We knew this math was correct. This is actually step n. This is step n.
If we start from 0, yeah.
Yeah, if we start from 0. But n is equal to the number of steps minus 1. Right?
Yes.
Because we have a 0th one right there. Right. So that's the roots. Then we take the current step that we're on and we raise the root to that power, right? So basically what we're really doing is we're doing return config.min times math.pow of the root to the step number.
Nice. Yeah.
Okay, and then this one, value to step, is a little bit more challenging, I think. This doesn't really help me.
Is it the inverse of an exponential is log to the base? let's see, oh, sorry. Right.
Yeah, we're going backwards. So we're taking a value. Yeah, we basically just need to go backwards from this function, right? Because we need to get to step.
Yep.
In fact, I'm gonna restore some of this stuff because it's got my rounding in here that I want to retain.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So to get to step, we have to take the value and divide it by config.min, right? That'll get rid of this piece. And then to get the exponent, what are logarithms actually? Logarithm is basically, yeah, what exponent
Right. So if we have, let's see, if we have root to the step, then that is log root of step to get that value back.
math.log of
that's the natural log. We need log base.
so what is the what is the actual expression? We want log base what?
We want
root?
log base root, yeah.
Of this value divided by config.min.
Yeah.
And log base root is the same thing as log of value, whatever we had in the top, divided by math.log of root.
Oh shit, is that true? Cool.
Yeah. In which case I need to actually have root. And then that step needs to get rounded, right? But I think we can just return math.round of step, and we'll see what happens.
All right. Yeah, let's see.
Yeah. So
let's see if the sliders still work.
If we have log base 5 of x, that is the same. Actually, let's see. Change of base formula. Yeah.
Ooh, wow, that's familiar. Oh, cool. Neat. Yeah, that's what you just did. So we have natural log of, where is it? Natural log of the
thing we're taking the log of and then dividing it by
Yep.
the root that we want. Yeah. Yep. Okay, so that theoretically should work. I have no idea if it does or not. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at, we're going to delete everything. We're going to create a slider. Like the gravity slider is a good one, right? And it's kind of refusing to play ball. So what we're going to do here.
That's fair.
It's totally fair.
Now, is that because we're returning some value where it actually thinks it's always in the same spot, or?
It's a good question. So what we're going to do is possibly breakpoint.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're debugging particle toy. Just restore it. Come back to gravity. And what I want is to go both directions, right? Okay. So we've gone from step 0 to step 1. Okay, so far that is what we expect. The config has a minimum of 0, a max of 10.
Okay.
The ratio between, we're dividing by 0.
Whoops. That's a problem. Do we just disallow that?
Well, we want gravity to be 0, right?
We do want 0, yeah.
We don't want 0 as an option. And the problem is, I thought maybe we could artificially insert like a second value, which is like an epsilon. It gets complicated, though.
It does. Crud.
Uh-huh.
This must be possible without dividing by 0, though.
I think you're right.
Is this ratio the correct thing? Is that is it division and not subtraction? Like, are we looking for the gap that we're trying to solve for?
It's multiplication if we want like the steps between each one of these things to be consistent. But I know what you're saying. Maybe what you're saying is like let's try an alternative formulation where we do max minus min, where let's say the range is equal to max minus min. Let's call it the span, right? We want the span to divide into n chunks. Distributed logarithmically, right? Like how we've gone into like this mode of like trying to figure out problems by just like typing out our stream of consciousness. It works really well,
It's
actually.
nice, yeah.
We want to divide that into n chunks distributed logarithmically. How do you do that?
Do we... wait. Oh, God. It's at the tip of my brain.
Right. And then the diagram is like this, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, do we want to just... Can we just apply log 0 to 1 to the value? Does that work? No, maybe not. Like, do we actually need to put our own value in there to be able to do this, or can we just have a standard log function that we're scaling?
We can, but
That's not quite right, though.
I think what we want is to be able to say what the maximum is, right?
Yeah.
I think that's a nice property. Although like I think doing what you said makes it easier. It makes it easier for us if we want to just say we have 100 steps. The first increment is this tiny amount. I want to try to see if we can figure this out, though. Right?
Yeah, yeah, totally.
This isn't rocket science. I mean, it's one of the building blocks of rocket science, but it's not rocket science itself, right?
Yeah, I'm looking up.
Okay. Okay, so there's not one answer to this question, right? Because
I think that's
it really kind of depends on what your logarithmic multiplier, like your base is. Although you could say that what you want is, I mean, this is a little bit like music, isn't it? In music, you have your octaves, where one pitch is like twice the frequency of the pitch that's an octave below it. And the way that you do equal temperament is that you basically make each semitone a 12th root of whatever the distance is, right? Because you have 12 semitones in the octave. Does that metaphor helpful at all? Maybe not.
Only a little. I I feel like our conception of R is what's not working for me.
Okay.
Because this is an exponential function. Why?
C4 is middle C, right?
C4 is middle C. That's correct.
Okay, so I think A3 is 440 hertz, right? That's what your guitar tuner's basically set to.
Good old A440.
Which means that A440 is that many hertz, right? So this is actually musical, right? Because you want B3 to be the same interval between A3 and B3 as G3 is to A4, but they're ratios and they're not absolute distances and frequencies, right? You don't just take 440 and divide it by 12, right? They're multipliers of each other.
Yep.
That's the way our brains work. When we hear relative frequencies, we hear the multipliers and not the distances.
That's really weird. Okay. I never thought about that. That's cool. Huh.
So basically what we're saying is that like the multiplier between B3 and A3 is the same as the multiplier between C3 and B3 and so on and so forth, right?
Yep.
So this is actually, I think, the exact same problem.
I was going to say, and if you made our slider 440 to 880, would we get what we want? Which is...
maybe. I think we might, actually.
And put 12 steps in there. That's fine.
Yeah, I think that's basically what we would get, right?
So is it just off? Like, do we need to... Like, if we operate on the range 100 to 200, but then scale that value down to our min and max.
Yeah, I mean, another way that we could do this is that if you start with 0, you add 1 to every step value, then you would get a multiplier, right? What you really want is to start at 1.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, is it enough to keep track of an offset, or everything is offset by 1? Can you
basically, I think, we add... We're never going to start on -1, or at least we shouldn't assume that. You could start at -1. I think we want to make it a little more general. So what we're saying is like if config.min is equal to 0, very special number. I
mean, does this work if you go negative, or do we have to actually scoot it up to a positive range and then scoot it back down with an offset? Like, basically, if min is less than or equal to 0, we have to take min, scoot it to 0, scoot it to 1, do our work, and then like set the range back down. Is that?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because like negative doesn't work either. If we wanted to do that.
Yeah, and the other thing I'm realizing is that we don't want the scaled range for everything. We don't want this logarithm thing for everything, right? I think the spread is fine because the range is pretty narrow, right? It's only for extreme things that we want the logarithm. So maybe we're really talking about a different component now, the logarithmic scaled.
Yeah, or config takes a scaled Boolean to do one of two behaviors.
Yeah, something like that. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to like undo everything.
Nice.
All right, we're back to the status quo, and then now we're saying logarithmic, right?
Yep.
And in fact, let's make it easy on ourselves. And then, look at this rendering. Like, what the hell's going on with this right now? It's just the breakpoint.
The breakpoint is just living in... Yeah, but the one on line 19 is really weird.
I think it's the weird font size. I think that's what it is. If config.logarithmic false, we do some shit. Otherwise, It's this, right?
Yeah.
I got to stop debugging. It's messing with my.
Yeah,
It
kill
was
it.
messing with my flow.
Kill it. It is having a bad time.
Yeah. Okay. Why did I delete all my code?
I was going to ask.
If config.min is equal to 0, right?
Let's do less than or equal to 0 because we gotta do it for negative stuff too.
We have to basically scale it all so min is 1. We treat min as 1, right?
Yeah.
Um,
And I think that's that. We're working along the same range of numbers and then nudging it.
yes. If the nudge is gonna be equal to config.min plus 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or the shift is right, because we basically want to use 1 as our.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so if that's like negative 10, our shift suddenly is 11. Yep.
Yeah. So let's.
Mm-hmm.
Right, this is kind of what you're thinking.
Yeah.
Then we do root is equal to what we were doing before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is again math.pow of scale max
Scale max
divided by scale min.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a root, and it is equal to config.steps minus 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then we return, and then like the scale value is equal to math.pow of scale min raised to the steps value, right?
Scale min raised to the step value. What do we?
No. You want to multiply it. It's scale min times math.pow of root raised to the step value.
Yeah, there you go.
And then we return
scale value
scale
minus
val
shift.
minus shift.
Yeah. All right.
I mean,
Sweet.
does that seem right-ish?
I think so.
And we got to repeat that up here, right?
Yep. Does the value to step have a shift problem though? I'm not sure.
Does value to step this
Yeah.
one up here?
I guess we still use roots, so yes. Still can't divide by 0.
Yeah.
No matter how hard we try.
Yeah. What did we do here? Help me remember. We basically went backwards from this other one, right?
Yeah, we did log of.
We have to add the shift to the value.
To add the shift to the value. So yeah, we did log of val over log of root, but root needs to be, yeah, you've got root there.
Val needs to be shifted over.
Val needs to be shifted, yeah.
So it is value plus shift divided by
math log of root.
we divide by scale min first, right?
Oh, did we? Okay.
Like const temp equals this. Because we got to basically do the algebra backwards from here, right? First,
Yep.
the first thing we do is we add shift to the value. We add shift to the value. We divide that by
Scale min.
scale min. And then we do the logarithm thing here. This divided by math.root of, or math.log.
Math.log of root.
Of
Yeah.
root.
Yeah.
Whew! That is some math hijinks right there.
Yeah.
Look how long this takes to load.
Oh, well, is that the math hijinks?
I don't think it's the math hijinks. I think...
Did we crash it? Nice.
I don't know what's going on there. Particle tool. Yeah.
Does that feel right? Oh,
I mean,
wow. It's working. Okay, and
what's the max gravity? 10?
yeah.
This actually looks relatively good. And
Yeah, it does.
This is going to be very, very subtle.
Huh? It's great because doing it this way, it actually looks like a logarithmic graph too.
Oh, wait. This isn't working.
No? Oh, we didn't turn it on.
We didn't set the... Yeah, we didn't even turn it on.
Shit. Well, we missed our opportunity to just like dust our hands off and call that a day.
I love it. We're just like looking at the thing that we made before and we're like, wow, we're amazing.
I mean, what we made before was cool. While you're doing this, do you want to
Is it really gravity that we care about, or is it the TTL?
I was gonna say let's do gravity because it's at least the easy one, and we're looking
Yeah.
at it and we know what it looks like. But can you output the prop settings gravity one just as a piece of text too, so we can see the number?
Oh, okay, yes, that's great.
It should actually be really easy to...
Logarithmic. And this is also a question mark, is it not?
Yep.
So, yeah. Cool. And then emitter settings. I just do logarithmic.
Nothing. Yep.
Nice. And then you want me to print this out as well.
Or put it on the screen where we are setting. Yeah, go back to the emitter settings. Just like copy line the value inside of line 241, like curly braces, and just paste that right after the scaled slider. Yeah. Because we should see that.
So this is no gravity.
Yeah, did it reload?
No diggity.
Uh-huh. Hey, that actually seems to be working. Cool.
It doesn't quite get to 10, but whatever, that's close enough.
Hey, it tried. But I like that the 5 is...
Yeah, halfway point is like 2. This fucking works, dude. Which is astonishing to me.
Me as well, because we couldn't really rely on TypeScript for that one, because it was just... They were all numbers the whole way through, so...
Yeah.
Excellently done. I'm very impressed. The log is with you.
This is good. This is really good. Now the question is, does this feel right? Like, gravity might actually be the one that we don't want to do logarithm.
I was gonna say, yeah, TTL might be better.
Okay. Away with you.
Uh-huh.
And then the scaled range should also be logarithmic.
Mm-hmm.
And yep, that's all going in there. Boy, reusable components.
Maybe React was onto something this whole time.
Yeah. Oh, this is the one, right?
Yeah. Okay. So this is emitter TTL that you just modified?
Emitter TTL, yep. I should probably be printing this out, right?
If you want. I mean, I feel like we're gonna get the same sense for it. Honestly, I think I want all our sliders to be printing out the values anyway, so I might just start doing that later.
Yeah, just cram it in there. Did I kill it? Oh, I did kill it. I need to add a... What? Really?
It's okay. I mean, we can see the value. I believe it's there.
No, I've got to do this.
Well, just put it on line 43, because then it'll be next to the label of the thing it is. Which is where I was going to put these things originally anyway.
Okay,
yeah,
that's fair. They're going to need to get rounded, but that's fine.
Yeah, totally. But at least it like...
Our gravity, I don't think is 100% 0. Oh, it is 0. I don't know. What is that? Does that look like it's... Ugh.
Looks pretty 0 to me.
Looks pretty 0, yeah.
Turn up the spawn rate and I can tell you.
It looks pretty 0.
I don't think it's dropping, yeah. Cool. So our emitter TTL looks like it's doing the right thing. That's great. Yeah.
10 is the max. Oh, so this is actually kind of exactly the same, right?
That's awesome, though.
So yeah, we have very precise control over this. The time to live should be working.
Your spawn rate is just 0.
My spawn rate died.
It's spawning nothing.
I'm sorry.
That's cool.
Yeah, this is gonna. Oh yeah, and we probably want to be able to have emitters that do this kind of thing.
I was gonna say, let's put that TTL way back low again. Yeah, and then like spawn rate all the way full spread, and I want to see how that feels as an explosion. Because I think that's more of what I want. Yeah. Yeah, dude, that looks great.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't feel like there's like something.
And you can make the speed consistent so that.
Yeah, it's just a cloud. Honestly, spawn rate could go higher. Our range might be too small on that. I wonder if there actually is a instantaneous emitter TTL that we want.
Yeah. Why do we have some particles? Oh, because they're moving away from us. I saw one just kind of like twinkling, and I'm like, did it stop?
Oh,
like
no.
This one here?
Yeah.
It's just moving further away, right?
Yep.
The TTL's too high.
Yeah, the log scale feels really good
right?
for this stuff. Yeah, I think we'll do more of that. And I like gravity.
So there you got your little shell of explosion.
Oh
right?
yeah, so turn gravity up, and then maybe our spread y should be up only, which I think is just negative pi over 2 around the center. Because the explosion going down into this 3D space.
Yeah, or we can turn the inclination this way, right? Because
Well,
if we turn gravity off.
I was gonna say, the inclination does need to go that way. Yeah.
Wait, which this is neutral.
Here, right. Reload the page.
Yeah,
That's
neutral.
Take us home. Yeah.
And then, I actually don't know how to float this is actually kind of an interesting problem.
Maybe it's time to add the gadget.
You're right, because we'd want the gadget so that this thing is pointing up.
It'd be really nice to be able to snap to flat plane or top down or straight on.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Wow, nice job freehanding a logarithmic.
The math.
Function. Yeah. I'm impressed. Yeah, I like this. It really makes the fiddly like. The feeling of our current emitter in the game is that like when something explodes, there's still something in the center exploding. It's like it's got the tactile feel of something that is like lagging or something. It feels like our emitter used to feel, where it would like keep spawning after the event.
It's fizzy.
And this is great because you can make the triangles like really big. Or not, but like if we turn the spawn rate even higher, I think we'll get like nice boomy explosions.
Yeah.
I like it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I think this is doing what you wanted, right? I think
that is a much
it's
more.
not exploding downwards, or at least.
I was
Oh
gonna
no,
say-
wait. I actually I think I need to.
I was gonna say, can you make the spread y up only because it is still blowing up downwards? I think should be centered around the 0 on spread y to get the effect. Yeah. Oh, it's hard to tell now. Yeah, we need the gadget.
Well, if we turn the speed way up. What happens if I just turn the spread X? That definitely looks like it's only going upwards,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Why is X the one that's doing it? If you, huh? All right.
Well, it's X because normally you're looking at it this way, the emitter, right? And then the spread X is how much in this direction.
Right. Okay. So yes.
Spread Y is in how much in this direction.
Right. So since you've rotated, yeah, a half sphere in each direction for spread. Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
No, you might be right though. I think spread X shouldn't matter. Spread X technically.
I think that was true when it wasn't rotated 90 degrees. But now it is. Now that is possible.
We're rotating it at 90 degrees.
Well, to turn off gravity, nothing should go below the plane.
And okay. I'm just getting confused.
Yeah, I mean, me too. This is a challenging interface. We should make the gadget. We'll make the gadget.
Okay.
The gadget will be fun, and we'll get to make the little animation where it like spins into place.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is way better, right? This is, I think, a better looking explosion for you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I really like the ability to toggle these sliders this way. This feels huge.
Fantastic. Okie doke. Well, we're a little past 9, so I think that brings us to time.
Nice work. Man, you're really good at freehand math. I'm always impressed.
I think we've literally seen us hit my absolute limit. So.
You keep saying that. I'll believe it when I see it.
Okay. Well, I think we've already seen it multiple times, right?
That's fair. Well, excellent. Yeah, let's commit all this. Is this, wait, I just did 81. You just did
83. When was our, do we hit our year anniversary?
That'll be April 15th.
That's when we registered jeffandon.com, right?
That's our first upload. I think it's April. I think we made it a month into the pandemic too. Is sort of when it happened. So
okay,
yeah, I think
so. We're getting close to a year.
Yeah,
we could celebrate on stream, or we could just like go get something to eat.
We should go get something to eat. Well, maybe a little both. We could do. We did a game for our 50th stream. Maybe we could do a gaming session for our year stream too.
Yeah.
Gotta find somebody to play. We can't multiplayer Disco Elysium. I mean, we could, but it'd be weird.
What kind of multiplayer?
Too bad Gungeon doesn't have actual multiplayer. Maybe there's some new co-op out there. We should see what's going on.
Yeah. What are the free games that we've gotten?
Yeah, that is
PSP at home. Is that what it's called?
Quite a question. Yeah.
PlayStation Plus collection.
There's that. Yeah, we have a lot of free shit there.
We got a lot of free shit. We got a lot of like Steam games, a lot of Epic games.
Uh-huh.
No.
Let's see.
I mean, we could also buy a game, but you know,
Totally.
why pay for games when we got a bunch of free ones? Yes, you're showing me the collection, but you're not showing me the list.
Isn't that fucking funny?
Okay, here we go. Bloodborne, no. Days Gone, I don't think so. Detroit Become Human, no fucking way. God of War, nope. Infamous, nope. Nope.
These are all
Last of Us
That's
ish.
wild. Last of Us has that weird multiplayer mode. Yeah.
Battlefield definitely, but I don't want to play that. Call of Duty as well. Although it is the zombie one. We're gonna have to figure something out.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat X.
Oh shit, I'm terrible.
Also Monster Hunter.
I'm terrible at that too, but I would totally give it a shot.
You know, I tried playing Monster Hunter and I bounced off of it because I
Almost
wanted to
immediately.
play with my brother, and it's exactly the opposite kind of game. because it's like very stats oriented, and there's quite frankly a ton of grinding in Monster Hunter.
I sort of like, I attacked the first monster, like the tiny lizard. It killed me immediately, and I was like, wait, what? And I should like really try it again, but maybe someday.
And the cool weapons are hard to use. Like I like really, really big swords.
That's what I tried to use. Maybe
you could interpret from that what you will.
Was that my mistake? Shit.
But there are other weapons that are much more beginner friendly.
Fair. Yeah, I wanted a giant two-hander, so
I also couldn't make my character the way that I wanted her to look. I also always play female characters, so you can interpret that how you will.
I do too.
So we both play the female avatars with giant swords.
I've played enough dudes. I've lived that experience. I want something different.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I appreciate your.
But I see what you're doing over there, Dr. Freud.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah. I think everything about my existence is sublimated guilt of some kind. And just depraved inadequacy, and like there's just a lot going on. Right.
Darn tootin' there is.
Yeah.
You know what we could do? We could try to play Fortnite. The live multiplayer game that involves all the building mechanics we want to try out.
It is true. I've never played Fortnite in my life.
Yeah, we can do that. We both have PCs. We can both. We should be able to stream that pretty well. Let's consider it.
I'm kind of afraid of it.
Oh yeah, me too.
Just because I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
100%.
And I just despise the idea of getting killed by children.
I know, it's gonna be so embarrassing.
It's all Freudian, right? Like the avatar choice, the weapon choice, the fear of getting killed by children.
Yeah.
It's all just
damn
seething. Like, yeah.
Whew.
All right.
Can't help you there, buddy. I mean, yeah.
You can't help me there because you have the same problems.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, it sounds very normal. Yep. All right, sick. Well, I'm gonna hit stop stream before this gets weirder. Good night.